Hello friends! In previous video we watched Caro-Kann Defense, the main line, as you corrected me. Thank you, no matter I named it exchange variation, thank you for your attention. Watch it if you haven't yet, it was cool. And today we are going to continue learning Caro-Kann Defense and we'll be analyzing another nice variation which I will name correctly. It's going to be the Karpov Variation. But before we go, I invite you to my express marathon of Blitz Ready Openings repertoire, the link in the description. Let's go! So we start the Caro-Kann defense as usual, e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3, de, and in previous video we watched the main line where black developed the bishop to f5 and our knight retreated to g3, and they also should retreat, and then it continues with h pawns movement, h4 for white and h6 for black. And that was main line, and today we are going to watch another variation where after knight e4 black develops different way, knight d7, which is also not less popular. Really, I face it quite often, and this leads to the Karpov variation. The key move here responds with knight g5. Can seem a little weird, but anyway it's theoretical. Why knight g5? Of course, because we attack f7 weak pawn. And you might wonder why black cannot harass this knight immediately, like h6 is the obvious response. But this would be a mistake, because we can sacrifice the knight right away. Let's check this first trap in this variation. No, we don't sacrifice the knight to f7, we put it to e6, knight e6. We attack the queen, and if black take it, what follows? Yeah, it follows queen h5, g6, queen g6, it's just checkmate. So this was the first beautiful trap in this variation, very simple, very short, but let's return. What if black do not take the knight and retreat with the queen? Of course, if they retreat with a check, we have a tempo to defend and to develop our bishop. That's good for us. And if they retreat here after this, we can just develop our bishop. We have the pair of bishops already developed. And if in this edition they take the knight, what we have again, we can go here and move here, and another trap you're going to find. Yeah, it's like this, we're trapping the queen here. Let's check again. On knight g5, h6 doesn't work because we immediately go this powerful move knight e6. It's not takeable because of the checkmate with queen h4. And on queen check, we develop the bishop, queen retreats. We just gonna trap this queen after this, and that's right, you should always watch this option. Queen shoots from the other side of the board, supporting this bishop to trap the queen. And if black can see it, they could immediately retreat the queen to b6, not letting our bishop to go with the tempo. This is more clever. What do we do then? We can just trade here, trade, and keep this king staying without castle in the center and develop normally like here. We're gonna go here and we just develop. But the advantage for the white is centralized king. So h6 immediately doesn't work. We either trap them or leave the king in the center of the board, which is already advanced for us. Let's return to the initial point where we go knight g5. We just watched why it's not harassed immediately. Black plays knight f6, they develop, and we have to develop our bishop. We have the two options to develop this bishop to d3 to play through this diagonal to attack the king side like after it castles, or to c4 to another powerful diagonal to explicitly attack f7, the weakness until black castle. Let's choose this one as it's more explicit and clear. We simply attack f7 and it's easy to remember as a clear purpose, right? Black should defend it. Naturally, e6 is the one move comes to their mind, of course. No other options can be seen. We respond continuing the pressure on this battery. We play queen e2 to e file opposite the king. And we threaten with sacrifice already, right? Just take a pause and check what. For example, if black do not react on our threats, we can sacrifice this knight immediately and we go here. No options to retreat to the 8th rank because of the checkmate on f7, so the only retreat is king g6. Check, this powerful bishop takes all the squares and we force them to go forward and checkmating it this way. So here's another beautiful trap in Karpov variation of Caro-Kann, if black do not see our threats. Now let's return and see what if black are acknowledged of this sacrifice. The most popular move here is knight b6. They open the way for the bishop to defend this pawn, and this pawn is not takeable anymore, because the bishop is uncovered to defend it. And also this knight attacks our bishop, which is attacking here. We have to retreat, and again, there are two squares available, d3 and b3, both are good, both are available. Let's choose b3 again, more explicit, to continue pressuring via this diagonal on f7. And here we put another trap. Black can be lured with this hanging pawn. Let's check what's gonna happen. If black take the pawn, we don't afraid to lose it at all. The queen immediately falls under the tempo. After knight f3, we develop the knight with a tempo, and if it tries to check, we can even develop bishop with a tempo too. And even better, if they try to trade, we do not trade. We again attack the queen, and let's see, we develop two pieces, we move the pawn forward, while black jumped with the queen back and forth across the board. And the price is the only one pawn. But price is not only for this, because we have really fatal attack for black. We move another knight to g5, we attack f7 again, and there is no defense. For example, bishop d6, and we can take this pawn back, no matter which knight we take it with. For example, the e knight take on f7. Black need to save the rook, rook f8. We want to trade this only playing bishop, the other bishop is stuck. And we have the centralized black king again, while we simply castle shot, make a silent move to hide our king, and the black king is stuck in the center of the board like forever. Let's check what can we threaten here. We threaten to move c5 to open again this bishop, which during all the game shot here opposite the king, and we want to sacrifice the pawn, but win the one on e6 instead. For example, if black tries to develop, we immediately give up this pawn, attacking the queen. Queen takes it, immediately opening the king's file. Let's see how we can attack. For example, if they block with the queen, we have the silent move queen h3. We keep holding this diagonal, not letting black to go to the long castling, and we are threatening to develop our rook on this open file, and seems there is no defense. King is in the center, bishops are powerful, queen holds the diagonal, not letting them to run away to the long castling, and our rooks are going to develop to e1 and d1 to take all this open file. This position looks like totally lost for black. Let's return to the point where black made a mistake. Let's repeat from the beginning all this Karpov variation to remember. e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3, de, knight e4, knight d7, and remember our not intuitive but theoretical move, knight g5, knight f6, bishop c4 attacking the f7, e6 have to cover it. We continue with the queen attack, and knight b6 is the only defense, opening the bishop to defend e6. We retreat with the bishop to b3, holding the diagonal. So we watch what happens if they take this d4 hanging pawn. It's not takeable because we develop our pieces with a tempo, with quick attacks. And the most natural looking here is h6 to harass this annoying knight, which black would always want to scare away when they see knight like this. And here we can see there is no more sacrifice because the bishop defense of e6. So we can take the pawn on f7, but no panic. We just retreat to f3 and don't be afraid of blocking the way to the other knight. Why? Because we have this road in mind to put this knight to e5 and to support it with another knight. This is the common road for the knights in the Caro-Kann defense. The plan is really simple. e5 is our outpost, supported with the pawn, so black want to explode this and develop the bishop. They play c5 to explode our central pawn, which supports e5 outpost square, very important square. We do not trade our central pawn to this non-central pawn for the general chess principles. We also learn in our marathon, the link in the description. We defend it with the bishop, knight d5. We don't want to trade our powerful bishop. As for black, it's always a good idea to trade knight for the bishop. And that's okay for us. Here, just remember another key point. We do the long castle. Yeah, we can do long castle in this variation. This is quite often the different side castling. And we develop the rook against the queen, and we want to take and to open this file, so we have castled with the temple. Black trade, of course, and here we should take with the pawn, because we want to keep pressure in the center and not trade in case we take with the queen, some trades coming. Queen c7, black want to continue development and take the queen from this rook attack. And we perform our knight's road we planned before. Knight e5, bishop d6, developing the piece and attacking the knight in the center. We support it with another knight. Knights stand perfect here. This is no way to make them leave this e5 outpost. Great. Black castle shot. And we have this clear different side castling game. We move pawns on king side and black in their turn responds on queen side. Let's check how the events could happen in this different side castling scenario. I like it. Now black threatened to trap our bishop, so we have to free the square for the bishop c3 to avoid a4 bishop trapping. Black would play b4 here to hook c3, and we play g5 as a response to hook h6 as a response. The knight is hanging. What to do? They have to take h takes g. And we play rook g1, moving the rook to the dangerous file. We don't pay attention to black play on queen side, as it's not as dangerous as our game on queen side. They take the pawn. We don't pay attention again. Don't take it. We play our game. Look, rook g5. If they take, good. Just hide our king for a while here. It's safe for now. And we threaten to move our heavy pieces to this file and just develop our checkmate attack faster than black can do something on queen side, really. For example, how this game could be released if they go knight g5, trying to scare away our rook. Yeah, it's time to sacrifice the rook. It seems too early? No, that's the time. Rook g7, sacrifice the rook. Because king is really alone and really weak here. We join our queen to the attack, making the king to go to the corner. Then with the checks, we're moving our queen closer and closer. Again here, again. And let's check how we can checkmate here. We move this checkmate attack, go queen here, king, if king goes 6, we just check from here by diagonal. Also, if the earlier go to f6, not h8 in the corner, we also check from here, from this diagonal. And now seems f5 is the only square left, and they got the checkmate on f4. Cool. This was the example of the game with different side castling, could develop in Karpov Variation. So try to play it, leave your comments, and come to my marathon, the link in the description.